I honestly can't tell you how many years I've waited to make this video. I'm not talking about an idea I had for a few weeks or a few months. I'm talking years I've been waiting for this moment, because I want to share my secret online income system with you, just to prove that anyone can make their first $1,000 with it. So if you want to make your first $1,000 online, even if you have never made any money online before, well, I'm going to share the 5-stage journey that is proven to make you your first $1,000 online. None of this fancy 10K a month, $100,000 a year, $1 million a year, blah, blah, all this, like these big things. I'm just talking about your first $1,000. Let's keep it simple. Let's keep it easy here. Now, it really starts with understanding the one big problem that stops you from succeeding on pretty much all of the ventures that you try. And then once that problem is fixed, I'm going to share with you the 3 best free methods to make your first $1,000 online. And finally, one paid method that requires no more than $100, which is my secret online income system that I mentioned. And that actually speeds up the process tenfold, so that way you can make your first $1,000 this month already. Now, before we get into it, I want to tell you my motivation to actually share my secret online income system with you. And this is just full transparency. You see, after I closed the offer for Agency Navigator after the Time's Up event last week, I received thousands of comments from countless people telling me how bad they wanted to join Agency Navigator, but that they simply didn't have $1,000 to invest. And this has been a recurring comment over the last year or so. And I finally decided to create something specifically for these people who can't afford to invest $1,000 to join my program and learn directly from me. So make sure to watch this entire video, because I have a huge announcement at the end. The announcement that I've been waiting years. This has been a vision of mine for years to create. And I guarantee it's probably gonna be something that you're gonna be interested in. And especially if you watched my event Time's Up last week and wanted to join Agency Navigator, because you see that 2024 can be the year that everything changes for you. But you simply didn't have enough funds to join. Now, with that being said, let's get into the one big problem that stops you from succeeding on pretty much all of the ventures that you try. You see, the biggest mistake people make when they haven't made their first $1,000 yet is that they see what people who are making millions a year are doing, and then they try to copy them, which is quite literally the worst approach you could take to start making money online. Because the thing that's gonna make you your first $1,000 is not the same thing that's gonna make you your first $100,000, which is not gonna be the same thing that makes you your first $1 million, which is not gonna be the same thing that makes you your first $10 million, up to $100 million, etc. And that was exactly the same case for me as well. I made my first few $1,000s flipping Instagram accounts. That's how I made my first few thousand. And that gave me enough cash to buy a camera and then start a content production agency. And my agency got me to my first $100,000 and my first $1 million. And that first $1 million then allowed me to invest into a team and structure to build my software company and my e-learning company. And that took me to my first $10 million. It's really like a staircase, and each step takes you to a new level. And the crucial thing for you to understand here is that you have to start at the bottom. Listen, if you try to compete against me, you're never going to succeed. At my e-learning company and my first ever software company, just those 2 companies alone, I have 8 figures a year in expenses. Like, really wrap your head around that. $10 million a year in expenses. And not only that, the experience that it took to get me there. You know, my first software company that I started in 2020, I actually started that with a client at my agency, and I never would have started that business on my own. It was only because of his technical knowledge that I felt ready. I didn't have the experience for that. And I definitely wasn't gonna throw hundreds of thousands of dollars investing in a venture when I had no experience and I could lose it all. If you try to do the same business model as someone who's making millions of dollars a year, or maybe even tens of millions of dollars a year, it's a very different game, because you lack the funds,